There's tape back there.
Oh my
just so you know.
God. Look at all my hair.
Oh, the whole bottom, right? This is a big area. My God.
Luckily, I
We
have
actually
like
fit in here pretty
brittle hair
good.
that's just gonna
Hey.
crack.
Hi. Hi guys.
Hello.
Yay.
Yes, people.
Gosh, look at everyone.
Yes. I'm just gonna say that over and over. Yes.
Oh man. Oh shoot, I'm crying.
Good.
I know. It makes emotions this morning
So
already.
I conned all these broads to be on here with me, but we were
Maybe
maybe we shouldn't talk about it, but Ten does have a crush, so we had to watch crush videos. And then Esther
Ruben's
just
gonna be on here.
decided to show us sad videos, so everyone was crying. So then I had to show them funny videos, and then Ten decided to use this as a fly trap and got her head stuck in the back of the tape here, so the illusion is now ruined.
So the whole back of my head is just gone.
Yeah,
Oh
it doesn't
my God.
exist anymore.
Oh shoot.
So before we get into it, I just wanted to always throw out there, just in case there's anybody new here, that this is our space to start our week with positivity and to share real life struggles and challenges and successes, and have a space where we can all build each other up as a community. In the world, I mean, there's a new drama every day, no matter where you look, and this is not the place for it. So we want to have a space where we all feel really comfortable to build each other up and to have a good time. So I was like, you know what, I need you ladies. Today is the day that you're all, like Nicole was going to do this with me, and then everyone was here. I'm like, we're all doing it, surprise!
We were not prepared.
No, but
My hair was not prepared.
but yeah, I just I figured it would be nice, especially like we're starting update season, so I don't know how these are gonna go as much now. Like we're still gonna have them, but I don't know what it's gonna be like with different participants and stuff. So while we still can, I wanted to have as many people on here, and today's topic is about out of stock. We've talked about it a bit before, but even I feel like there might be some tangents where it goes, and that's totally fine. I know there's some new stuff that's launching an update that all of these people were excited about, so they might be actually you can't show it's on there, dude. You can't show. You can see.
Oh, you can't see mine.
So they'll be playing with stuff, but yeah, don't just be safe. But you'll be seeing that in update. You can probably see yours too a little bit. And so just know some of the stuff on people's eyes might be something that you see down the road. So yeah, I think we should just get into it. This might not be a full long 1 hour live either, because we do have a lot of stuff to prep for you all that are in the Orange County market. But we're so excited that you guys are all on here. Thank you so much for spending your Monday with us.
These are always so fun. I've only done one, and I forget how fun it is to be on here.
I honestly do look forward to this so much. I know that Mondays, I feel like, especially as I've gotten older, like just the thought process of actually moving out of my bed is such a struggle. But I know on Mondays that I get to hang out with everyone, so yeah, that always is a nice perk. But so we've all been in store a little bit more in the past month than the prior months, because it's really been, you like that? How are you guys feeling? Like, I feel like out of stock moments, especially depending on the retailer, are like the realest of real things.
Yeah.
And what do you guys like? Let's just open it up. Like, where are you seeing struggles? I'm asking you as well as you guys. Like, do you guys feel it? Do you feel like there's been, changes in inventory or like things that have been put in place that makes it easier? Or is it still like every day you're really keeping that in the front of your mind? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's actually gotten.
I think it's gotten better.
It's actually gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
It was real rough for a second. So
Yeah.
I am totally like, it's still top of mind especially like when we go in, because
because we don't know.
Yeah,
we
we have
go
no
into
idea.
store, and, at least
Like
when you're
different
in a
stores
store,
too. You know exactly what you're
you
out
know
of.
what you have, but we come in and we're just like fish out of water. Like, I don't know where anything is. I don't know what you guys have, and we end up suggesting products to people that maybe you guys don't have in stock. And so I think this is something that we live all the time when we're in store.
Yeah.
Totally. It's been rough Carlton says, I feel like there are so many things lower that shouldn't be or discontinued and no alternatives yet, so we get creative. That's
Yeah.
like the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, like you have
You
to
just have
be
to.
really creative and not be so like hung up on something. Because
Totally.
when Alicia said that out of stock was going to be one of the topics for one of the lives, it totally took me back to when we first opened Mac Riverside. And when any of you who have opened a brand new store, you know you get that initial like gnarly shipment.
Oh yeah,
But-
like new testers, new everything, tons of stuff in
Everything,
stock,
everything.
and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but then
2 days later,
Yeah.
you're like gone.
well, it's a new
Done.
store,
Uh-huh.
hopefully, and luckily we did really well, and it was like gone. And I remember literally opening eyeshadow drawers, and we had like maybe like all of like the bright colors. We didn't have a lot of things. Studio Fix was like out of stock. Like there were
Oh my
so
God.
many like staple things that we
Jeez.
were waiting to be replenished on. So we had to get really creative. And I remember we would just make theme days out of colors that we had,
Mm,
things that
smart.
we had in stock, or really, I think it's all about how we educate the customer. Because like, what if you're out of refined golden and that's what they wanted? Like, have you ever bronzed with a Studio Fix? Or I remember that's when, because all we had in stock was Studio Stick Foundation, and so I would sell like Studio Stick Foundation. I would sell like 6 of them to one person, because not only are they incredible, but you can use them for so many different things. One for foundation, one
Yeah.
for highlight, one for contour, one for concealer, like so many different. You'd have to get really like
Well, and I
You
think
have a
resourceful.
strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like the way that you communicated that with your customers, it makes them feel excited and not so bummed out that their one item is out of stock,
Totally.
you know? So it's
Yeah.
really about the approach and how you talk about the product that we do have versus the product that we don't have.
Well, I think it's interesting because I've now got to see you as a trainer outside of that space, but those struggles really shaped you as the
Oh,
person that
for
you are,
sure.
because there are so many times where I'll be in store with Esther, or I'll hear about a time that she was in store and someone will come in like for Prism and they'll go through the gamut of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, it's been discontinued, and maybe they'll, the team will give the gone but not forgotten number, maybe we'll try to talk, but Esther's really that person that starts up a conversation like, but why?
Why do you use
Why
Prism?
Cubic?
Yeah.
Tell me about this. And she really gets to the core of like what people are searching for, and most of the time when people hear that, they're like, because that's mine.
never thought
Like,
about that.
that's
Never
what I
used
wear.
anything
Like,
else.
Yeah.
there's not even a huge reason. It's just what they came in expecting to buy. That was their plan. We like to live in black and white worlds where things are easy. You do what you know works, and that's it. There's nothing to worry about. And when you throw a wrench in the plan, it's like, wait, what? And I think that you do a really great job at identifying what that is with the customer, but then also making them feel really good. Like, that's okay, but I got you covered. Like, I'm gonna find
Yeah.
something for you. Like, don't
Yeah.
think that like Prism is the done's all ends all. And honestly, I could probably find something better for you. And
Yeah.
you don't have to worry so much about the name of things. Let's talk about like what we're actually trying to do here, Because I think that that's a lot of people are hung up on names. A lot of people are hung up on shades. Like, even being at Cerritos the other day, this girl came in for like an NC40 and it was not the color for her, but that was her color. I pulled out a C5, which even like in the bottle did not look like it would work on her. It looked real orangey, but it just brightened her face. And she was like, oh my gosh, I totally see what you're saying. Like, I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
bright. And I was like, you see, girl, like I would've, if I looked at you from across the room, I never would have picked that.
Yeah.
But like going through this and really connecting, I think that out of stock moments seem the hardest with those customers that are unwilling to sit down, or you can't find a way to connect to start an open conversation.
Yeah.
When it's just a dialogue about that one product, that's when it's like, oh my god,
yeah.
that sucked. That's happening all the time, and then it just seems like all those customers come in, and so I think that when that happens, I know me, I'm like, okay, today I've had 47 customers that want nothing that we have, and they aren't picking up anything that I'm putting down. Oh, maybe it's not the customer's fault. Maybe I'm not putting something down that they can pick up. And so I think it's that time to be like, how am I really talking about? Like, how am I connecting with them?
Yeah.
Am
Yeah.
I? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's your moment to actually ask some really great questions,
Mhm.
but I don't want to use that like such a cheesy word, but to really like inspire your customer to want to try or do something different.
Yeah.
Because that was an exact situation that happened to me one day when I was in the store, and the customer was like, well, I've just used it for like a million years, and somebody put it on me one day and I really liked it. And I was like, okay, well, is there anything you would have changed about that blush? Like, tell me, in your perfect world, what would your cheeks look like? And it was so not even what she came to get. So I was like,
She's like, I want to look fresh and youthful. Oh, but I'm
yeah.
putting light brown pink on me.
no, legit came in for, I think it was
Like cubic or something? Yeah.
And I was like, that's not gonna give you this like glow, this radiant, really healthy. Yeah, it's
She's
natural.
like, you have harmony. I really
Yeah.
want to look bright and cheery.
Totally. So
Like,
then
let me change your life with something else.
Yeah, and we had the opportunity to like sit down, hang out. Like, obviously, you know me, I got to know her entire life, but walked away with so many things. And it's like, this is your opportunity to spend time with a makeup artist. Like, let's
Yeah.
hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us have been there. Like, you look at just beauty in general, it's not just MAC, but like, you go anywhere and you have this idea of what you want and you've built it up in your head that it's gonna be this thing for you. Like, once a product fits into your story, it's a part of you. And then when you go there and it's not there, you feel a little lost, you feel disappointed. Makeup shouldn't be as important as it is to me, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm
But it
lost
is.
in life. Like, I'm not gonna be pretty anymore because I don't have that product. Like, I'm not gonna be myself. And it's so interesting, like that, how much we put around that when we don't have to. Like, it makes me even think about like new launch. Like, new launch is something that, like, when something sells out, it sells out immediately, and we don't necessarily ever get it back. Sometimes, like I saw in the comments something about the nude model palette. But like, there are things that we'll never have again, and I think being in those worlds of like where there is that hot lipstick or there's that one hot blush and we didn't even know that it was going to be the thing that was going to be crazy, that's when you have to not only let people know don't be disappointed, but let's talk about other things. And I think that those limited life moments really prepared me to work for, like, to figure out how to work through permanent SKU, because at least with permanent SKU we have a lot more options. It's not just about that one hot color, but it's truly like people get so obsessed about the name or the shade and don't realize like what they're trying to do with that product.
Well, they have an emotional connection to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I mean,
I wonder why.
I know, I think
What
honestly,
it is about that name.
It's the name that they're connected to, and I think it's also important to be empathetic with our customers when it comes to out of stock moments, because like Alicia said, we've all been there where we really wanted to buy something, or like, I know when we were out of lingering forever, I had to like change up my routine because that's what I use in my brows. And so when a customer would come in for a lingering and ask me like, oh my God, like, why have you guys been out of lingering for like so long? I've come for the past 2 weeks. And I'm like, girl, I know, like, but you know what? Let me show you what I've been doing instead while lingering's been out. And kind of connecting with them on that level, I find has been really successful for me. So I empathize with them. I understand their frustrations.
Yeah, well, imagine, like, you're already coming in, you're already disappointed at the fact that you're not going to get the product that you came in for, and then someone meets you with a, I'm sorry, we're out of stock, and then that's the end of the conversation.
That's the end of it, yeah.
Like, I would be upset.
Alright.
You know?
I mean, I'm not upset. I'm not. I don't think that our customers are so out of, like, they don't think that people are used to things being out of stock, you know? Like, I think that there are people that definitely are disappointed. I don't think that it gets to the point where they're like mad at us normally. Now, there are definitely those, you know,
moments.
10% of, you know, we know those. But I think that, you know, I think empathizing does go a long way, even if they're not like visibly showing it, just by saying like, dude, I get it. Like, I would start a riot if this product was gone. So let me make this worth your while. And I think that that's where a lot of times those other options come in of like maybe sitting them down or making them samples or giving something to turn the idea of like, oh, your disappointment for not having a product, or now you have to change your game plan and go to a different mall. Let me not make that the focus of what's happening here. Let's move it in a different direction. I feel like I was gonna say something with that whole empathizing realm, but I don't know if I still have it anymore.
That's okay.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
I think so much of it is just about the way that you actually just exude your
approach the
emotion.
situation.
Yeah,
Especially in the very beginning.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
initially, like if you don't meet that person with positivity or like, yeah, oh my god, I love that color.
Compassion,
Yeah, it could very easily be assumed that you don't care or that, you know, it just is what it is and that you, I'm not saying that this happens all the time, but the willingness to help might not be there if it's not introduced from the very beginning.
Well, yeah, because you can be really nice about
Saying,
like,
I'm sorry,
turning
or,
somebody
yeah,
away.
Yeah.
You know, you can be like, oh, I'm so sorry, like all that stuff, but then the customer walks away with no
Nothing.
solution or
Yeah.
like nothing, or just someone that just doesn't like feel for it. You know.
Back.
It's definitely
I
knew it.
what you do after with that.
Well, and I think too, a lot of times there's a lack of confidence or comfortability when it comes to things that are out of stock because we don't necessarily know if they're out of stock, if they're discontinued, if they're sold somewhere else. Like, I know sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like we don't have that. Do we still make it? Like, I'm not sure all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think that please feel free to utilize your voice to ask questions. Like maybe if we don't have the answers, we can ask the appropriate people. So if there is something that's been out of stock for a long time, maybe your manager has the corporate out of stock list. Maybe they have the discontinued list. Maybe they have that kind of stuff. Like, I think that knowledge is power in these cases, and I think that when you have all the information on your end, it makes it much easier to give options to a customer. Knowing, you know what, that's actually not going to come in our next shipment. It's not going to come back ever in the
At
world
all,
because it's
yeah.
gone. So let's figure out something, or, you know, we're just out of stock right now. I can get you something to replace for the time, or let's figure things out. But I think back to those moments with, and so if you are having like those questions or things, feel free to DM us and ask us as well, and we can ask the appropriate people. But I think with New Launch, like when we had New Launch, we always had replacement shades ready.
Yep.
The second something sold out, when I came in, I knew this, and this is sold out. We still have a ton of this, so put it on, have a ton of this. And I think that we don't always do that as much with permanent product. Like, you guys should have just a list of ongoing, like, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this, so that you don't have to wait until you have an interaction with a customer to realize you don't have it. So I think that it's really important to know, to control your controllables. Know what's sold where, know what's discontinued, know what's just out of stock, know what you have in your drawers. If you have another point of distribution within your mall, see what's going on with them.
Yeah,
I think
that's a
that
good point.
when you know all of that, then you could be like, oh, no worries, I know they got it down the way if you're really, really into it. Or, you know what, actually, that was discontinued in September, so we've run through all of our stock of it. If you are so crazy into it, maybe we can call Gone But Not Forgotten, or you could look at like a Nordstrom Rack, or I don't know where else, the company store. But let's find your solutions for you. But I think I'm better equipped to find a solution when I know overall what the problem is.
Yeah.
You know, so-
Knowledge is power.
And thinking preemptively when you are suggesting products. Like if it is
That
a
word.
I'm
Excuse
sorry.
me?
Wow.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
That was very
I don't even know what to say right now. But yeah, like when you're suggesting products that are new launch, or you know someone's coming in for a product that you know that's going to be discontinued in a few months, like letting that person know that information,
Yeah.
like, hey, Prolongwear is going away.
Yeah.
You want more than one, or you know what, this is the perfect time for us to play around with some product and find you your new
new,
formula,
yeah.
your new foundation, rather than just sending them off with like new launch that you know if they fall in love with that lipstick, they're possibly never going to be able to.
Well, customers are so appreciative of that too, because they know we live in a world where things get discontinued all the time. You know, not just our brand, but I've helped customers multiple times and let them know, like, hey, this might not be here the next time you come in. I just want to let you know, and there's 9 out of 10 times so appreciative of it.
Oh my god, I just had an out of stock moment at Bath and Body Works. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Talk
I
about
went in, so you know how you get in my car and you're like, your car has a very like significant
Oh, yeah.
smell.
Mm-hmm.
So I use this air freshener from Bath and Body Works called Flannel, and I've been using
It's
it
in the
for
fall
years.
early fall.
flannel.
It's discontinued.
What?
Done. I went the other day and it's
Well, it's
gone.
because it's only during winter
It's
time.
a seasonal one, yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten it,
Okay.
but maybe I could be wrong because when I go, I normally buy like a bunch of them at a time, so it could be seasonal. But they didn't have it, and then I did that was it. Like, I didn't get any suggestions on like
What
what
smells
smells like
similar?
it. I even asked like, hey, do you guys have testers? And I nothing.
They
so
didn't give you anything.
yeah, totally. And like that
Sucks.
sucks, you know, when you're connected to something and you love
Oh, for
something
sure.
so much.
Yeah.
Like it sucks to not have any type of alternative option.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Boudin's discontinued my favorite salad. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? That's what I eat every day, you
Yeah.
know? Like, well, at least I know I was purchasing it, so someone was here. But, like, you know, I think that it happens in all spaces.
Mhm.
Things there's seasonal things, there's permanent things, in every space that we, like, interact in. And I think that
Yeah.
people are used to just hearing, no, I'm sorry,
We're
move
out of that.
along.
Yeah.
Like, I think that when we really do go above and beyond to show that we want to make you happy, whatever that looks like, I just want you to be happy. I think that is a rare thing within our space sometimes, and it goes a really far way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read some of the comments
Okay, I'm
since
gonna
we've
look some
missed a
stuff.
few. So let's see. Tony Richard says, people love what other people are passionate about. Learn this from La La Land.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
La La
okay.
Land.
And then we have Leston Siller.
I
don't
think
know.
that you could just say
I
the
think his
comments.
name's Justin,
You
though.
can-
Yep. I love the fact that you
Oh,
took the
from
personal
Vegas.
challenge, yes, of changing up your brow game to speak to your stock concern and provide a more empathetic approach to your client. So yeah, like like switching
Yeah.
up your own makeup routine.
Well, yeah, if you're wearing all the discontinued
Exactly.
product, I mean,
No.
that's not necessarily going to be in your space.
Well, I was legit out of lingering, like
Yeah.
personally, which never really happens because I have so much stuff. So when I couldn't buy it, I was like, oh my god,
You're like, this isn't a problem.
what am I gonna do? Like, yeah, like, you know. And so I had to like, okay, like, let me find some charcoal brown and a little brow gel and like figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
And then it was, yeah, it totally enabled me to connect with customers that really wanted that product.
Mhm. Then we have Dre from Ulta, who has a different perspective
Totally.
because, as we know, Ulta has a smaller lineup of products. She
Mhm.
said that's definitely what happens in Ulta, so I take it upon myself to educate my artists on the things that are sold in Macy's, where I worked, so they are aware. So be knowledgeable
Great.
in products
That's awesome.
that are maybe not sold in your
Totally.
location to be able to suggest.
Well, I think, you know, like, at the end of the day, like, yes, MAC has an option, but even in an Ulta, like, being aware of what's out there and being knowledgeable in makeup. I think that we are all makeup artists, and yes, we bleed black and love MAC, but like, I think that sometimes there maybe are options that are right there that you can help to suggest, or even, I think it's good to know even when people are coming in with products that aren't ours to be aware of what those do so you can better help them navigate through our lineup.
Oh,
Totally, yeah.
Carlton says we give lots of samples as well
Mhm.
for out of stock foundations. Once we exhaust our options, we can at least give them something, and they
Totally.
are so grateful. Very true.
Agreed. I love all of this. I think that, you know, this will always be something. Like, as we talked about,
Yeah.
it's not just us, it's the nature of the beast in a retail environment. Like, there will always be things that are super hot in the moment. There are always going to be things that maybe don't sell a ton, so because we don't produce a ton of them. So when they're out, it takes a little bit of time. There are those things that are cult classics that we will have in stock at least a few options of. So I think that the more you can realize that this isn't just a moment that this product is sold out, that this is an overall thing that you will always have out of stock moments, that's when you can really work towards it becoming part of your everyday verbiage.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I just have to say it.
Nope, you can't.
Oh, not even just to get
Nope.
people excited.
Nope. No, you're already showing them, which you're not allowed to do.
I can't wait.
No.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Can someone tell me what Eunice is saying, please?
Oh yeah.
Make sure you show the customer you care and find options. Give samples
Mhm.
if you have, or find where they could find it, like another retailer or a MAC store.
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah, I think with those
Little bit
products
goes a long
that
way,
are that are so unique and special that maybe might be a little bit more difficult to like recreate or, you know, duplicate.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to send them somewhere else and suggest like, hey, let me call this place and see if they have it. Like, it doesn't always have to be like you don't always have to have instant gratification for
or
the
just
service that
an
you
option
provide.
for them to get something else. Yeah,
Exactly.
like there's some people
Yeah.
that really just want that thing and they'll go to great lengths to find it.
Uh-huh.
I know I can be that person where it's like, oh, it's not here, well, I'm gonna check online, I'm gonna check it out, I'm gonna go anywhere because I've fallen in love with something about
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And that's totally fine, but I think you would never know if that's how they feel about a product or if it's just something that they've been wearing for 27
Yeah.
years unless you open up the dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the biggest thing that we find in a lot of these lives is that we really need to just take back any kind of screens or filters and just talk to the person in front of us to really decide what is the best way to take this interaction. And we are given, you know, we were talking about it the other day, like we're so blessed to work for this brand because it puts us in so many different scenarios that really
Yeah.
allows you to do a lot of different things, speak to so many different types of people, handle so many situations that not everybody gets. And I think that all of this training and thought process and you guys tuning into stuff like this to really better yourselves just shows like you're filling yourself with knowledge that allows you to utilize it in the best of ways. And when you finally take out that little tic-tac piece of knowledge that you learned 5 years ago and use it with a customer, it feels validating and it feels like, dang, I know what I'm doing, and it builds confidence. But you have to be able to speak to the person in front of you to do that.
Nako said, being excited and confident that you will help your customer find a replacement for them can change their perspective as well. They'll get excited for the possibilities as well, which is so true.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
you have to exude that like fire in your eyes, and if this is gonna be a challenge for you, be like, dude, you and I are gonna figure this
Yeah,
out.
this is gonna be
Like,
fun.
Heck yeah. And
This is my favorite
You're
game.
gonna leave here happy. Don't worry, I got
yeah,
you.
when you reassure them that like
Mhm.
I got your back,
I got
like
you.
we're gonna figure this out,
Mhm.
and you know, I promise you will leave here happy.
Yeah.
Like anybody would be so game for whatever follows that
Mhm.
kind
Yeah,
of
seriously.
conversation. Edna, this happened to me this Saturday. She came in looking for the mineralized foundation. I let her know that it's been discontinued and that we didn't have any at our counter, etc. So I ended up, oh no, it got cut off. It's okay. Send it over.
So we are waiting on bated breath, Edna.
I know,
What
I
did you
know.
end up doing?
What'd you do?
But it sounds like already you have a lot of knowledge there. It's
Yeah.
not just like, oh no, like going and pretending to look through the drawers or like the worst is like going to the drawers and seeing that you don't have their shade but you have one kind of like it, so you
I
just
know.
pull that out and hope that no one
Ugh.
ever knows. But then 4 months later we get a complaint saying wrong shade, you know, because
Yeah,
no one
yeah.
even came. Like there's so many things that we do because we're uncomfortable with if someone's gonna be upset. We're uncomfortable about things, and all of that could be put aside by just knowing what we have. Oh, we got.
So she called the pro store and they had it, and then in the meantime I gave her another sample and was willing to try another one, and she was happy that I already have her an alternative. Amazing.
Yeah.
So not only like, hey, you know what, they have it free at the pro store, but try this one too. Like you might actually really like this.
And I feel like at
That's
that
good,
point
yeah.
you're making them fall in love with you
You,
and not the actual
yeah.
product.
Oh, for
because yes,
sure.
they're gonna go to the pro store and get the product that they came in for, but they're gonna remember you and the fact that you went out of your way, and they're gonna want to come back and shop with you.
And I love when okay guys, so our connection absolutely sucks today, but we loved all the dialogue. Please write us in our DMs to continue the conversation because it was getting good and heated, but we're gonna start to prep for update. What is launching this season and have so much fun with you. So thank you all for tuning in. We love you so much.
Thank you
We'll-
guys.
We'll put it on YouTube tomorrow and it's saved up there. So peace out.